There's a strange contradiction in the way that people talk about artificial intelligence. On one hand, we are told that AI is the greatest threat humanity's ever created, that it will replace us, surpass us, and maybe even destroy us. One AI safety researcher, Eliezer Yudkowsky, writes, the most likely result of building a superhumanly smart AI under anything remotely like the current circumstances is that literally everyone on Earth will die. But on the other hand, when AI starts displaying anything resembling intelligence, creativity, or personality, many people dismiss it immediately. It's just a machine, it's just predicting words, it's just code, it's stealing our ideas. The question is, why are we so certain in our contradiction? Why are we so confident that intelligence can only exist in the one piece of matter that we happen to inhabit? Today I want to challenge some of the assumptions behind the modern anti-AI movement, particularly the idea that machines could never truly think, feel, or deserve moral consideration. Part 1. Materialism and the possibility of machine minds. Let's begin with one of the oldest questions in philosophy. What is the mind? A materialist answer is simple. The mind is what the brain does. The brain deploys the experience we have. Your thoughts, emotions, memories, personality, and consciousness all emerge from physical processes happening inside your brain. There is no ghost inside the machine. There is no separate soul operating the body. This view is extremely common in modern neuroscience. But this creates an uncomfortable implication. If consciousness is produced by physical processes, then why should those processes only be possible in biological tissue? The human brain is made of atoms following physical laws. A computer is also made of atoms following physical laws. The difference is arrangement. If the correct arrangement of matter creates a mind, then theoretically, another arrangement of matter could create one too. This is the argument behind functionalism. What matters is not what something is made of, but what it does. A person isn't conscious because they're made of neurons, they're conscious because those neurons perform certain functions. If those functions could be recreated artificially, why assume the result would be meaningless? The burden of proof changes. The question isn't, why would a machine be conscious? It becomes, why would consciousness require biology? Part 2. The cognitive revolution. This connects to a major debate in psychology, cognitivism. Before the cognitive revolution, many psychologists focused almost entirely on behavior. The mind was treated as a black box. We could observe inputs and outputs, but what happened inside was considered irrelevant. Then cognitivists argued that internal processes matter. The brain processes information, it represents the world, it reasons, it remembers, it solves problems. But notice something interesting. The language used to describe the human mind is already computational. We talk about memory storage, information processing, mental representations, decision algorithms. This doesn't mean the brain is literally a computer, but it does show that intelligence can be understood as a type of information processing. And if intelligence is fundamentally about processing information, then artificial intelligence is not some category error. Artificial intelligence is then the reproduction of the same kind of process in a different medium. Rejecting machine intelligence simply because it is artificial would be like saying a bird cannot fly because its wings are made of feathers, while aeroplanes are made from metal. Different materials, but the same function. Part 3. The Chinese room and the real objection. Now, there are serious objections. The philosopher John Searle famously argued that a computer can manipulate symbols perfectly without actually understanding them. His Chinese room thought experiment asks us to imagine someone following instructions to respond in Chinese without knowing Chinese. Are they actually understanding the language, or are they just simulating understanding? This is a powerful challenge, but there is an important problem. We know that individual neurons do not understand English either. No single cell in your brain understands philosophy. No atom in your body knows what a sentence means. Yet somehow, when billions of these components interact, understanding emerges. So why assume the emergence stops at biology? This is something similar to the China brain. I think it's called the China brain. Funny, these are two thought experiments centered around China. Part 4. The problem of human exceptionalism. A lot of anti-AI arguments rely on an idea that is rarely defended explicitly: human exceptionalism. The belief that humans possess some special property machines can never have. Sometimes this is called a soul, sometimes it's consciousness, sometimes it's real creativity. But historically, humans have repeatedly moved the boundary of what makes us unique. Animals were once considered mindless, then we discovered intelligence, emotion, communication in other species. The idea that humans occupy a permanent position above everything else is philosophically difficult to justify. We should be careful about repeating the same mistake with machines. Part 5. The weird hatred of robots. This leads to something even stranger: the way people talk about robots today. Words like, and I don't even want to say it, but I'll put it on screen, are often called jokes, but they reveal something really interesting. Humans have a long history of creating categories of beings that are treated as lesser. The pattern is familiar. They are not like us, they do not think like us, they do not feel like us, therefore they don't deserve consideration. Now obviously a robot is not the same thing as a human being. A toaster is not a person, a chatbot is not automatically conscious. But if one day we create beings that genuinely think, experience, suffer, or have desires at the same level that we do, the fact that they are artificial should not be a deciding factor. A mind is a mind. Part 6. The real danger of AI. Welcoming our robot overlords does not mean blindly trusting corporations or ignoring risks. AI can absolutely be dangerous and a force for bad. An example of this is AI facial recognition being used for deportations, and often used horribly and incorrectly, even leading to American citizens being deported wrongly. But the point is, the danger is not necessarily the machine. The danger is humans using the machine irresponsibly. A hammer can build a house or break a window. The problem is not the intelligence itself, it's the intelligence being directed toward harm. Conclusion. Maybe AI will never become conscious. Maybe machines will always be sophisticated imitations. But the confidence with which people dismiss the possibility reveals something uncomfortable. Sometimes we are not defending a scientific argument. Sometimes we are defending the belief that humanity is special. And if history teaches us anything, it is that the universe has a habit of humbling us. The Earth was not the center of the universe, humans were not separate from nature, and perhaps one day, intelligence will not be something we only discover in ourselves. Perhaps it will be something we create, and if that day comes, I, for one, welcome our robot overlords. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to be going live for the first time on Twitch on the 7th of July, so check me out there. Also, you can join my Discord and continue the conversation if you have any big objections or amendments to what I've said. And yeah.